Alright, this video is going to show everyone how to install Final Fantasy XI and connect to the Supernova Final Fantasy XI server. You can start out by going to supernovafffxi.proboards.com, creating an account. You've probably already gotten this far, but if you haven't, you're going to need to go here to get started. So if you get in here, you can click on the first link, and it'll be a set of files that we're going to need to get us started in the install. I've bundled everything into a single zip file, so that way we won't need to go out for different parts of the web and worry about the quality of those downloads. We've got them all in one spot, and I can keep updating this zip file as things move forward. So this machine that I've got that we're going to install it on right now has nothing done to it, so this will be exactly what you'll need to do. I'm running Windows 8, but the install process is exactly the same for Windows 7. There will be almost no differences, except for just the way things might move around Windows, and I expect that you'll know how to deal with that when that happens. Now that you've got it downloaded, you're going to want to create a separate folder, maybe on your desktop or somewhere. This is just temporary. And you're going to want to take all the files from the file that you downloaded, the Supernova installation zip file, and you're going to want to drag all of those folders into a regular folder. So it'll look the same, it just won't be compressed, and you'll be able to work with the files more easily. And you're going to want to do that before you try to run things. Basically, the first thing that we've got to do is get plan line set up. So if you go into the first folder and just run the setup that's in there, it'll install plan line. Now, plan line comes bundled in the Final Fantasy disks that you have, but that particular version of plan line only works with Windows XP. So this is the one that you would get from their website. If you want to download it from them directly, go for it, but this is the exact same file that you'll get from there. Okay, so plan line has been installed. Okay, so plan line is updated. So now we're going to install the Final Fantasy game and expansions itself. So put your disc in. I've got the Final Fantasy Vana'diel collection from 2007. Each one of these installation directories is a different expansion. So we're going to just install the base game. From in here, you can just run. largely doesn't matter what disks they come from. The earlier disks will have less folders on them because at the time the expansions wouldn't have been out. So long as you get them installed, that's all that really matters. Done with the installation process. If you have disks, you can take them out and put them back away. You won't need them ever again. So, you might have noticed that I did steps 2 and 3 out of order. It largely doesn't matter. Okay, let's see. So we've installed Final Fantasy, and then we've installed an updated plan line. Now we are ready for step 5, which is the second folder in the Supernova installation folder. So, got a bunch of files here, and what we're going to do is we're going to copy these into the directory that Final Fantasy is installed in, and I will help everyone navigate to that location now. Mine is installed in the default location. If you have Steam or something else that installed it somewhere else, you're just going to have to figure out where it installed it. You're going to go to Program Files, x86, and then Plan Line, and navigate to your Final Fantasy directory. You'll notice some similar file names that will let you know that you're in the right area. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these files and you're going to move them into here. Make sure you don't drop them in one of the folders. You're going to be moving them in and overwriting them. So if it asks, hit replace, merge folders, overwrite, all that jazz. And we're done with that step. So that is step 5. What that does is it lets us update Final Fantasy XI without having a plan line account. So now we can go back into Play Online that we've got ready and update the game. So now when we hit check files, if you click here, Final Fantasy should be in the list. If it's not in the list, that last step, you need to repeat it and make sure that you copied the files in the correct location. Normally this won't show up unless that's done correctly. So at this point, you hit this and check files, and now we wait an eternity. That file checking that we did before for Play Online is now 33,000 files rather than a couple thousand. So there's several different portions to this process. I suggest that you read over some of the rest of the documentation in the Supernova guide. There are some rules, kind of things and guidelines that it'll take a little bit to kind of go over. It would behoove you to go through that during this point because it could take a while. Now, you're going to want to make sure that as soon as you start it that you hit file repair. Mine goes kind of quickly. Sometimes it can take up to 20 or 30 minutes to get to this point. After you hit repair, this is the step. This is the step that can take multiple hours. I've seen it take a maximum of 10 hours. I've seen it take, luckily, as little as 2 hours. Generally, I tell people to let this run overnight. It's just... comes back saying that you've already got it, or if you got a better one, just leave it. Don't overwrite it. Just let it go. Okay, so that's that step. And we can move on and configure a sheet up. the first time you boot it, you'll notice that it takes a little while because it's updating itself. You don't have to worry about manually doing it anymore. Sheeta 2.0 is a lot better. It's really nice. Once you've got a Sheeta loaded, you're going to want to edit the configuration. So click on Supernova and then click the pencil to edit it. Click over to the window tab and you're going to want to switch the resolution to whatever you're going to want to play at. I usually play at this resolution, but you can put it to whatever you'd like to play, whatever the size of your monitor is, a little smaller, whatever. Back over here, eventually you're going to want to put in your own username and your own password. You haven't made one yet. We'll make one in a little while, and once we do, we'll change this stuff here to match whatever your profile is, so that way you don't ever have to type in your username or password again. It'll just do it for you. For right now, we're going to leave it as just that kind of default thing. Change it later. From here, you can download different add-ons. If you don't know what these are, don't worry about it. This is getting into a little bit more of the complicated things in the game. Some of them come built in where you can download them straight from here. Other ones you're going to need to go to a specific website and download them. You might have to put them into different folders in here. Each one has its own little thing. That'll be for a different time. You can customize that pretty much as you like later. For right now, I've installed all of the ones in this particular folder. They'll look like this one here if you haven't installed it. You'll have a download arrow. Most of these ones I've got packaged into the Sheeta folder that we downloaded just to save you some steps, but I just wanted to show you this here. That's not really too much more to talk about here. But anyways, eventually what you'll do is once this is all said and done and your game is installed, you're going to basically spawn this and then click this arrow and it'll boot you up into the game. Right now we don't have the game installed or configured properly yet, so we're not going to do that. We're going to close out. After that, we're pretty much just going to be waiting for the game to finish updating, and it could take a long time. Mine doesn't even give me the amount of time remaining, so I'll just fast forward this until that's done.
Buying a gift for the guy that has everything? Log on to petsovernight.com. We've got exotic pets galore, including tigers, cobras, manatees, and white rhinos. All delivered overnight. petsovernight.com, delivering little bundles of love in a box directly to your door.